Hey, this is Rob Leo, and in this tutorial we're going to take a look at the new Flipgrid. We're just going to take a quick walkthrough of some of the more recent changes that they've made. I'm here at flipgrid.com, and I'm going to click Educator Login. These changes were made in the summer. Today is August 6, 2018. I'm going to log in with Google. I'm going to identify my West Genesee Google account, and I'm in. So just vocabulary-wise, grids, think of them as classes. You can set up a grid for every class that you teach, or you can have one grid and invite all of your students to interact in the same space. Depends on how you want to manage classes worth of students. So let's say I have 3 sections of Global 9, but I have one grid. All 90 students might be in the same space. So that might be a little bit too much to manage. Alternatively, I might make 3 grids, and within each grid, you set up what's called topics or prompts. What I would do then is have to replicate each prompt for each grid that I set up. So again, depends on how you want the students to interact. I'm just going to click Start a New Grid to get started. And there are now some options as well for who the audience is. By default, we're set up at My Classroom or at school. The advantage in using that is everyone has the same email domain, so it's an easy way to get in. Alternatively, you could use a public grid, but notice that your students have to be 16 years old or older. So if you want a project to really reach the highest reaches of the SAMR model, expanding the audience outside the school domain might be a good technique to use. But again, please note, this is for 16 years and older. You could also create a student list with unique IDs. I don't think we need to do this, again, because we have Google and students have at westgenesee.org as their email domain. I think My Classroom or School is your best bet. So let's use that one. I'm just going to give this grid a name. Call it demo for video. And what's cool now, this is new, you can actually give your grid a flip code, and you can customize it. So right now it's a bunch of random characters, but I could eliminate the back end of that. Let's say I want to use RLeoWG instead. I just made my own custom flip code, so kids can go to flipgrid.com/RLeoWG, and they can access my grid that way as well. You can also personalize your grid with a banner. You can pick different images. Looks like they have featured images, nature, people, textures. Notice you can also upload your own image as a background. I'm going to pick this. Looks like a urban area with traditional buildings in Asia. Looks good. Let's go to the next step. And the next step is to students can either enter a flip code and verify their school email using Microsoft or Google. I'm going to use the at westgenesee.org domain. Notice the email address is hello@mail.flipgrid.com. Mail.flipgrid.com is your domain. So ours is westgenesee.org. And we're going to press enter to add it. And I'm going to launch my grid. So there's my banner, there's my title, there's my flip code, and again, I can continue to customize my privacy settings and so forth. If I click on that, for example, it's pretty much the same screen. You can receive email notifications when new student videos are added. You can have followers. If people want to follow your stuff. Active means it's accepting videos. Inactive means it's behind the scenes and no one else can see it except the teacher. You can allow downloads, so videos can be downloaded to a local computer, and looks like there's captions as well. Depends on, it looks like it's not 100% foolproof, but you could potentially add captions to it. If you wanted to add your own banner image, of course you could do that. Let's just go up real quick. I thought I saw something before about, let me just go back one screen here, about what a student would see. I'm just going to open up this grid. And by default, they give you an ideas topic, and they give you an introductions topic. I'm not going to use either of these. In fact, I'm going to turn introductions off for now. Co-pilots, they can edit the grid, they can create topics, they can review the videos, they can provide feedback. In other words, this is a co-teacher. So if you want to have a co-teacher in your Flipgrid, you could add that as well. Again, think of topics as simply as prompts. We're going to click uh, new topic. We're going to give the topic a title. If you wanted to, you could add a little topic tip. You can decide how much time you want your students to respond. If you click the arrows, you can switch between 15 seconds or up to 5 minutes. Bear with me just one sec. Alrighty, where were we? Setting up time limits. So you can have 15 seconds or up to 5 minutes. We'll just set this one to be a minute. This is where you would put your prompt under the topic description or question. Notice you can put links in your prompts. You can clear the formatting if you copy and paste from another website, and they have some basic text editing of bold-faced, italicized, and underline, up to 500 characters for your questions. As far as privacy, do you want to have your videos moderated? In other words, they won't appear until you, the teacher, release them to your grid. Under topic status, once again, we are active, meaning we are accepting responses, and you can even set a launch date and a freeze date if you want to. My time zone looks like it's set to America and Chicago. Let's update that real quick. Right here, we're set to Central Time. Let's just switch that to Eastern Time. And we're in New York. If you wanted to, you could add all of your social media information as well. All right, so once again, let me open up the grid. Apparently, changing my security settings eliminated the work I was doing at this point. Let's add another topic. And minute prompts, privacy. If you wanted to add resources, you could do that as well. So for example, let's say you want the kids to watch a video first. You could add a video. What you have to do is add the URL of your video. So let's say you want the students to view a YouTube video first. Attach that as a resource. If you have any other attachments, you could add a Google Doc, for example. You could have up to 5 external links. This is an optional feature. You can add a title to it. As far as video features, if you want the kids, and this is a very important thing to them, if you want them to doctor up the selfie that they're going to take, you can add stickers and drawings. You can have student-to-student reply. So if you want kids to reply to one another, I would leave that turned on. You can have video reactions, a little the mic drop emoji, for example. It's kind of like what the like button would be on a traditional like Facebook, for example, but that's what the emoji would look like. You can display the number of views. This is also important to kids. They really like it when other people give them feedback with likes and with views. Your attachment links can be public, and then you can show the video title as well. That's it for now. Let's just create the topic. And then this link, a direct link to this particular topic, is what you want to share with your students. You can post that in Google Classroom. Alternatively, you can send kids directly to your grid, which will have all of your topics. So again, think of this as a link to your class, and then think of this as a link to a specific prompt that you want the kids to complete. We're going to copy this one. We'll just copy the link address. And when I come back in another video, I'm going to show you what it looks like from the student point of view, and then what the teacher will see once the student posts. Thanks for listening, and I hope you found this useful.